Hello and welcome back to the Betting Odds show that gives you the best betting content around on the trending markets and where we give you our free tips for the biggest games. I'm joined by our very own betting brainiac, Mr. Anthony Eidson. Anton.
How are we doing? You all right?
I'm not. I'm fed up. Another woeful performance from Watford. No fight, no tactics, no quality. Chelsea away. I wouldn't be surprised if Big Sam wasn't getting a call soon.
No, I don't think it'll come to that, Charlie. But what I will say, I thought it was a very un-Pearson-like performance that yesterday. Normal organisational skills and discipline, I just thought weren't there at all, and didn't see much heart from him, which is worrying at this stage in the season.
Yeah, very worrying. He didn't even see that animated on the touchline, giving it anything. So they're not responding to him, which is worrying. We've been cut from 3-1 to 9-5 now for relegation.
Down there, it's getting very tight.
Yeah, we've got a shorter than West Ham now, who are 2-1. Obviously, Villa lost against Wolves. They've now got an 80% chance of getting relegated. Where do you think the value is in the relegation market?
To be honest, I see it as Bournemouth going down. I've had a look at their fixtures and Bournemouth have got a really tough run in. After playing Newcastle next, which is a huge game, they play Man United, then Tottenham, Leicester and Man City. And just can't really see them taking any points from them for at the moment. West Ham are another, they're in real trouble. But one thing West Ham and Bournemouth have got in their favour, they've got a game in hand on both Aston Villa and yourselves, Watford. So I think that could be really crucial. But you've got 1 point separating 16th to 19th, which is pretty tight down there, very tight.
Absolutely grim. Can't wait for this season to be over. Anyway, you've had a better weekend, and Betting Odds have had a good weekend. We've had 3 winners. Do you want to talk us through those?
Yeah, so we started off with Friday night. We had Romain Sawyers to be booked for West Brom against Brentford, and that came in at a nice 4-1 there, highlighted by Callum Pragnell on Betting Odds. And then we had also a winner. I had a winner myself on the Aston Villa v Wolves game Saturday lunchtime. We put up Wolves to win and under 4.5 goals. That was 11-10. That proved a nice price there. And then yesterday, I'd been banging on about James Maddison to have numerous shots on target. I was on at 55-1 for him for 3. It were cut into 18s. He didn't start. And I thought it was a bit fishy, this, about the details of why he didn't start yesterday. And they said it was a slight knock he'd picked up in like the recent 24 hours before the game. But I was just wondering if there's something more there to do with potential transfer away in the summer. And I tell you what, if you take Maddison and Ndidi, I've seen linked with other clubs today, take them 2 out of the picture for Leicester, and I'd be a little bit concerned as a Leicester fan. But I replaced Maddison to have 1 shot on target with Tielemans 1 shot on target at 11-10, and that came in within 20 minutes yesterday to give us a second winner in as many days. So we're hoping for a bit more of that this week, Charlie.
Yeah, really good work from you and Callum this weekend. I think if you had 10 on all of those, you'd have had a total of £92. So really good stuff. We also had some FA Cup action. Did you watch any highlights for you?
Not really, Charlie. I watched 3 games this weekend. Man United versus Norwich on Saturday, which I thought were a terrible game at times. Leicester v Chelsea yesterday. Again, Leicester, I thought, have been very flat recently, and this goes back to before the break. I think Vardy's failed to score in 10 of his last 11 now, and this 100th Premier League goal is beginning to really hang over him. And if they're not careful, they need to be looking over the shoulders in the Premier League, because having a look, and they're actually only 3 points above Wolves now. Wolves flying up there. They are a well-oiled machine at the moment, Wolves. 3 wins since the restart, all to nil, and they are a team in form.
Yeah, Leicester looking not great. I'd like to look at the odds for them to not finish outside the top 4. I was praying, hanging on for a penalty shootout between Norwich and Man United, because I really fancied Krul to do the business against them.
Yeah, I think it was a cruel summer there for him, because he would have had a very good chance on penalties.
Definitely. The draw's been made. It looks pretty tasty. Arsenal City and then Man United, Chelsea, which should be good. And I think Man United have had the better of them this season. Manchester Derby final. Do you fancy you highlighted Man United as value before?
I do. I thought they were a decent bet at 6-1 each way with a third the odds to get to the final, and I still see that happening. I think they'll just edge out Chelsea. I think they'll do them, and so I see it being a Manchester final. Yeah, I think the semi-finals of the weekend, the 17th and 18th of July.
Nice, coming. Moving on to the game we're going to preview then. Brighton versus Man United. Brighton 9-2, given an 18% chance. They've beaten United at the Amex in the last 2 games, and they've beaten Arsenal in the restart. Do you give them any chance, and what are you going to go for this game?
Well, when I had a look at the fixtures before the restart of the Premier League, and I saw for Brighton that they had Arsenal, Leicester and Man United as the first 3 fixtures, I really feared from them. But I tell you what, and they've beaten Arsenal and they've got a point on the road at Leicester, and they've showed some heart, they've showed some fight, which I've not seen from them throughout the season. Morpay, getting stuck in there. I'm all for it. When you're down at the bottom, you've got to be a bit of a dog and you've got to get in there, ruffle up the top 6. So that's my way in anyway. But I've been impressed with them. But I don't see him winning this or getting anything against Man United. And my first bet I'm going for is Man United to win and under 3.5 goals. And it's been a nice way in since the restart of the Premier League. I've had a few winners where we've gone on the result and then picked an unders for the goals. And I'm going for under 3.5 here. And since the resumption, 21 of the 24 Premier League games have seen under 3.5 goals. That's 88% of the games have seen under 3.5. We know there's been a lack of intensity. We've got these silly drinks breaks, stop, start, overtime, and I'm happy to get on the unders at the moment. I've been impressed with...
I think they're good value, those ones. Do you think the bookies... I'm surprised they're not short of that bet.
So, United were 2.1 as a decimal, which is 11-10, to win and under 3.5 goals. Betfair have boosted that to 11-8, which I think is a very backable price. You've got Sky Bet and Betfred that are both 6-5 on this, and 11-8 for United win and under 3.5 in comparison for a standard United win at 4-6. I'm happy to have this on board, and I've mentioned I've been impressed with United, and it's mainly since Bruno Fernandes, his introduction to the team. They look so much quicker, slicker, and they're flying forward. And the last 4 wins in the league have all seen under 3.5 goals here. So for me, the bet for this one, I think Brighton will frustrate them for long periods, and I can see it being another one of those where it's going to take a while to get going, and I can see it being a 1 or a 2-0 to United. So United to win an under 3.5 goals, 11-8 with Betfair. I think that's a very good price.
Good price, yeah.
My second one, Charlie, is again around United. And amazingly, United have had 16 penalties in all competitions this year. That's an absolutely crazy stat. And I think back to, I think it was in 2017, United went 23 games without having one, which kind of gives a bit of weight to that stat to show how many they really have had this season. 11 of those 16 have come in the Premier League. That's 11 in 31 games, which is the most of anyone in the league this season. I think.
How would Webb come out of retirement?
Well, that is one possible angle. We know teams have often struggled to get a decision at Old Trafford. In fact, there's only one team who's not had a penalty in the Premier League this season. Charlie, do you know?
No.
Everton. And a big reason why that with Everton, I reckon, will be the headed goals element. Everton have scored a higher percentage with a head than any other team. 32%, 11 goals they've scored of the 38 have come from the head for Everton. But anyway, back to United. The bet is United to score a penalty against Brighton. When the market opened up here on Bet365, it was 6-1. Which I thought was a massive, massive price. It was only 4-1 on Betfair. That 6-1's gone now, but there's still 11-2 available. And I've taken a little bit of that myself this morning. Betfair have actually boosted that from 4-1 to 5-1 now. So if that 11-2 were to go on 365, you've still got 5-1 there with Betfair. But that's for United to score a penalty. They missed 4 this season. But with Fernandes, now I think the permanent taker, I think he might actually be on the bench for this one, Fernandes, after playing 120 minutes against Norwich. But I'm still confident at that price, 11-2, United to score a penalty. Plenty of trickery. I've seen Pogba dancing into the box a few times since the restart. I want to be on that 11-2.
Yeah, I like that. Martial, Rashford, Pogba coming up against Duncan, Duffy. You can see it.
Yeah, I think they've got a few clumsy ones who are able to leave a leg out there. And this kind of ties in with my final bet for the game, Charlie. And as always, I like to put a long shot up for those punters who like to swing from the fence a bit and go for something a little bigger. Now I've gone for Paul Pogba, who we've mentioned, to have 2 or more shots on target. And I've doubled that up with Lewis Dunk to be carded. And as I've mentioned, Bruno Fernandes played 120 minutes against Norwich. He started every game as well since the restart for United. And I think Pogba has looked lively every time I've seen him. He came on against Tottenham off the bench. He was lively. He started against Sheffield United. And then against Norwich this weekend, he came off the bench and he had 3 shots. 2 of those were on target. So I want him on side here. When the market opened for Pogba to have 2 shots on Betfair, he was 9-2. They've already cut that into 7-2. But I'd like to have that as part as my double. And I'm putting that with Lewis Dunk to be carded. We've mentioned Brighton, can be a little clumsy at times. And Lewis Dunk is the epitome of this. He's had 9 yellow cards in the league this season. There's only Jorginho of Chelsea with more. And putting those both together, Paddy Power have given us 25-1. So that's for Pogba 2 shots and Lewis Dunk to be carded. I think Dunk will play the full 90 minutes as well, which might give us a bit more bang for our buck there, because we know it's a nightmare with team news at times. And again, team news is a big one here. And it's really my key angle into the United win as well. I see Rashford, Pogba, Martial, all coming back in after not starting against Norwich. And when you've got that kind of quality that you can rotate with, even though Brighton are organised and disciplined at the moment, you've got a bit of fight. I see United coming out on top here. So my 3 bets, just to recap. You've got United to win and under 3.5 goals at 11-8. I think that's a cracking price, that one. And then I've got Man United to score a penalty, 11-2 with Bet365. And then my final one is Paul Pogba 2 shots and on target and Lewis Dunk to be carded at 25-1 with Paddy Power.
I like that, Anton. Good stuff there. Thanks for that, mate. And if you are watching this video before the Palace versus Burnley game, we've got 3 tips up for there that you can get stuck into for the Monday night game, which is on Amazon. That's us for today. We're going to have tips again all this week until the end of the season. Like I said, the football's on every day, so make sure you set your deposit limits and your reality check to make sure you stay in control. If you are feeling a bit at risk or developing any issues, please seek help or give us a call. We can advise you. And good luck, enjoy the football and bet responsibly.